Time now to get a business news update. William Hildebrandt is here for that. Hi there, Will.
Hi, Catherine.
You're beginning with Argentina trying to find a way to pay its debts.
That's correct. Argentina's President Cristina Fernandez announced plans for a debt swap to try to sidestep a U.S. court ruling. One holdout hedge fund has accused Argentina of being outlaws after the move. In July, Argentina defaulted for the second time in 13 years after a New York court said it must pay the so-called holdout creditors in full. At the same time, it pays the rest of its bondholders, who had already accepted a 65% haircut on the bonds after the 2001 default. Delano de Souza looks at the details.
Proposing a new law in an effort to skirt a U.S. court ruling, Argentina's president is asking lawmakers to approve a bill to allow Argentina to pay its debts. The proposal comes after the country entered into selective default in July.
We have decided to send a law to the National Congress, the law of sovereign local payment of external debt of the Argentine Republic.
Investors will be eligible to swap bonds issued under foreign law for debt of the same value governed under local law. In June, a judge in New York ordered Argentina to pay the so-called holdout investors $1.5 billion or risk default. And while they have repeatedly declined to accept the same terms as other bondholders, the government says the holdouts too can take part in the swap.
Argentina is going to continue paying its debts according to the conditions made in the restructuring. It's not a change of legislation, it's a change in the payment venue.
The proposed bill is expected to pass through Congress easily. Analysts say the swap carries legal risks as U.S. investors who accept the offer may be held in contempt of court. The latest proposal from the country also dashes any hopes a deal can be reached with the holdouts.
Well, markets just closed a moment ago on Wall Street. Let's get an update on how things ended. The S&P closed within reach of an all-time high, with industrials faring the best. The Dow Jones Industrial Average also finished up, with Home Depot leading blue chip gains. And Apple hit a record high on the Nasdaq, but the index finished just shy of positive territory. Well, Ukraine has asked the International Monetary Fund to accelerate its $17 billion bailout program. The second tranche of aid is due to arrive by the end of next week, and now Kiev is asking the IMF to combine the third and fourth tranche, which would total around $2.2 billion. Kiev hopes to receive the money by the end of the year. With tensions in the east, Ukraine's economy shrank 4.7% in the second quarter, and unemployment is on the rise. Recently, the government announced a so-called war tax of 1.5% to fund the military effort. Time now for some company news, and it seems the Ukrainian crisis has affected Carlsberg's profits. Russian beer consumption dropped by up to 7% in the second quarter and 10% in Ukraine. As a result, Carlsberg warned its yearly profits would likely decline as well. The company's Baltika beer in Russia maintains the largest market share, though rival Heineken reported strong growth in Russia in the first half of the year. And Macy's is to pay $650,000 to settle claims it racially profiled and detained shoppers at its flagship Manhattan store. The department store also agreed to make changes at 42 of its locations across New York. Some customers complained they were discriminated against because of skin color and were held by security despite not concealing goods. Time now for one last story. It's a healthy dose of bling bling meets K-pop. French luxury goods giant LVMH will invest up to 60 million euros in South Korea's YG Entertainment, the group which manages most notably the rapper Psy, best known for Gangnam Style. You're seeing his video here for Hangover featuring Snoop Dogg. Now, it's a big bet on the surging Korean wave of pop culture that has grown in global popularity. But trendy pop stars are a big gamble. Cosmetics company Elizabeth Arden singled out poor sales of Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift's perfumes for causing the, quote, biggest quarterly loss in the company's history. Catherine, how about you? Are you wearing Taylor Swift's perfume?
No, I've got Justin Bieber on today, actually. Well.
Very fashionable of you.
No, only joking. No, I don't think I'm perhaps the target market, but yeah, a bit of a gamble there, you would think. Thanks very much, William Hildebrandt there with the business news tonight. Well, it's time now.